Hi, this is Positive Fandom, and I am your host, Rrr Mmmm. Today we have Catherine Cooke with us. Hello, Catherine. How are you today?
Good.
It's wonderful to have you here. Um, Today we're going to be talking about what to expect from Star Wars Celebration 2022. And, this has been such an unusual few years. The tickets for this event went on sale quite some time ago initially. And of course, things got delayed due to worldwide events. But now, after even one slight date change, it seems like this Star Wars celebration is going to take place, right, Catherine?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So, for those of you who are watching, I know if you're already a person who's been to Star Wars Celebration, then you know what to expect, or at least you have some expectations of what you'll see at an event like this. This is going to be my very first Star Wars Celebration, and it's taking place in Anaheim, California, at the Convention Center, which is across the street from Disneyland. But Catherine, you've been to a Star Wars Celebration before, and you've seen how great they can be. Just tell everybody what are some of the things that you saw at Star Wars Celebration that stood out to you, because it's not like we can go someplace every week and experience Star Wars. Star Wars Celebration is very special, isn't it?
Yeah, you go there, you're gonna see a million and one cosplayers. There's gonna be vendors of all kinds. The exhibit floor at Chicago was huge because it's like the largest convention center in the country, and they'll sell all sorts of types of apparel, bonuses. You had a booth for Rancho Obi-Wan, which is pretty cool because he has that massive collection down in Petaluma. You have all the guests that they have doing autograph signings or photo ops, and then all the time you have panels going on, and they could be anything from visual effects demonstrations to practical effects demonstrations, the concept art galleries, or they do the few big panels about the whatever their big upcoming thing is that they want to show off, that you have to have like a raffle to get into those. They have the droid builders where they bring all of their fully automated robots like C3PO, R2D2, BB-8, stuff like that. And you have sometimes people build giant mock-up, like life-size mock-ups of the ships. Like there was a snow speeder, an X-wing, and Tie fighter that were at the last one. One setup built a mock-up interior of the Millennium Falcon that you could walk through for photo ops. So there's all sorts of neat things at Celebration, and of course, there's a lot of fun extracurricular activities as well, like other clubs getting together. You have the 501st Bash, which rumor has it might be on Thursday night that they'll eventually be selling tickets to at some point. In Chicago, they had a big party they called the Night at Canto Bight, where somehow they arranged for to be able to rent out the Chicago Natural History Museum for Star Wars fans. That you got to rent out and have basically a whole party at the museum, which is pretty awesome. And they had the big lightsaber meetup over at the Bean, which is kind of cool because that just reflects all the lightsabers everywhere. And so you have a lot of fun stuff like that going on outside the convention, and all the fun stuff going on inside. So it's really great because it's just all Star Wars like all the time, and you meet people that you probably, some of them you may pass every day and not even know they're Star Wars fans, but when you're at Celebration, it's like, wow.
Well, it sounds amazing, Catherine. And of course, this is a very unusual year. It is true that we are going to have to go masked into this one, from what I understand. And from what I understand, you also have to have like the vaccine. And so, they had some tickets that were on sale in March. I managed to pick up two tickets, one for Thursday and one for Friday. So I'll be there for at least 2 days. But they also have something called the Light Exchange if you want to possibly buy tickets maybe from another ticket holder who is at a point where maybe they need to sell their ticket, and a lot of people do that as well, right?
Yeah, that's how I got my Friday and Saturday tickets. Because initially, I wanted to get the 4-day pass, and I had relatives who wanted to come, and they took a little while getting back to me, and the 4-day passes already sold out. So I got Thursday and Sunday initially, and then I got Friday on the Light Exchange a few months later, and then just in March I got my Saturday tickets on the Light Exchange as well.
Excellent. So maybe I'll go on there if it's still open and they still have tickets available. I'll go and see if there's
Oh yeah,
something for Saturday. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Saturday they have the single tickets. I think are around $75, and then the four
yeah.
day pass. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
E- each of the individual 4 days are $75, and the 4-day passes were 195. Those ones kept selling out back and forth, because what it is like if you are in the line and you have 10 minutes once you're in the room to be able to buy the online room to be able to buy the ticket. And if you put it in like your digital shopping cart, it counts as being sold. So, but that doesn't mean everybody's necessarily going to check out. So it repeatedly the Saturday tickets and then the 4-day passes kept switching from sold out to available, sold out, all that type of stuff. But I'm sure there might be something available, but that's a very reliable way to get tickets.
Well, I'm certainly going to go back on there after, I get off this recording with you to see if there is something available. So guys, I know it's a little later. It's April 3rd or 2nd when this video will be shown, but there is still a possibility of getting tickets for the event. So if you do find yourself in the Anaheim area, certainly do look into that. And you, of course, you mentioned the panels that we're all sort of looking forward to, the cosplay, the immersive exhibits, and the showrooms. Something that I did want to ask about, Catherine, are some of the exclusives that they're going to have, not just in merchandise, but also in screenings. Can we expect an exclusive screening at this year's Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah, they do that like all the time. Like in Chicago, one of the raffles I won was for one of the overflow panels for The Mandalorian, and they screened like an exclusive clip from that, exclusive montage extended clip from that, and gave out free Mandalorian posters to us. So you get things like that. I expect that one of the big announcements is probably going to be for Andor, because as I understand it, that series has been in the can for a while now, and rumor has it that it might start dropping in late August, and it'll be a 12-episode series, so that'll be 3 months of content. That's pretty good. So I would expect them to have a big Andor panel and trailer this year. As for the Obi-Wan thing, I thought that was kind of odd, because it's like, oh, we're going to drop it on May 25th, which made sense because it's Star Wars Day, or the other Star Wars Day, I should say. And but then when they just announced the other day that, oh, we're going to actually move it to Friday and drop 2 episodes at the same time, because originally it was going to run from the May 25th to June 29th. This will bring it up through June 22nd. So I'm thinking, would the last episode have overlapped with something, and that's why they're dropping 2? Because it'd be very awkward to have like a Obi-Wan panel on the first day when you're gonna in a trailer, or another trailer, if you're just gonna drop the series right after that. So I'm not sure what that's about. So we'll see, but I'm glad that's happening, and kind of neat that they're dropping it on the weekend, like debuting it at Celebration. I will fully expect a sizzle reel or something for the 3rd season of Mandalorian, because I believe they've been close to filming or finishing filming that about. And maybe we'll get some headway on some of the announcements, because they made quite a few announcements at the Investor Day in 2020, and then revelations came months later that some of those ideas they threw up there were, quote, barely even ideas. Like something they threw up there to appease the investors that they didn't really put much thought into. And it's like, okay, so I'll be interested to see what's coming along. Personally, I hope they actually go through with the Lando series with Donald Glover, because that would be amazing. Because that bit in the Solo movie where he's just sitting in the cockpit of the Falcon doing the Calrissian Chronicles, and I'm like, that would be so cool for a live action series. But we'll see, because that's also the convention. May 25th is going to be the 4th anniversary of that film. So that'd be cool. So those are the type of panels I expect, at least on the film side of things. And we heard that there's going to be a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, so I would expect there to be a panel about that. So yeah, those are kind of the big ones that I'm expecting. Not sure, because they're so secretive over there. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if they do have some big surprise that they haven't announced yet. And of course, the 20th anniversary of Episode 2 is probably going to have a panel. And since unfortunately they missed the 40th for Empire, they might do something for Empire while they're there as well.
My goodness, it's a lot, Catherine. And we are expecting this to be a well-attended celebration. Not
big
just
time. When I was in Chicago, most of the people I met were from the LA area. And so when they announced that Anaheim was going to be the next one, the cheers were unbelievable. So I imagine this is going to be insanely busier than the Chicago one.
Wow. And of course, you already mentioned there's going to be fan-inspired activities like cosplay, but there's also going to be, opportunities for people who also are collectors of figures and whatever, you enjoy to collect in let's say, Star Wars oriented merchandise. This certainly is going to be a time for getting those exclusive items and, also for seeing new items that are going to be premiering. I'm sure they're going to have some premieres of different things as well. I can almost guarantee that. So that should be interesting. Something that I also wanted to ask you about, Catherine, is, and you and I have kind of had it. Maybe we didn't speak about this directly, but in regards to celebrity appearances, the last convention that I went to, I think it was, no, it wasn't the last one, but it was the New York City Comic Con where I went to the convention, and unfortunately the celebrities were masked there. There was a barrier. Are we going to have interaction like that at Star Wars Celebration, do you think,
Uh,
or do you?
I'm not sure because, well, Reed Pop is handling it, and so I would look to other events that Reed Pop has recently hosted to see what their policy has been on that. I know they recently changed something for the better. Initially, they said you couldn't have even helmets on; they just wanted masks, which would be kind of weird to go in and see everybody in stormtroopers and not have it. But now they've changed their mind on that, so everybody can wear helmets, but supposedly have to wear masks underneath it. So we'll see how that works. Uh, but I mean, I would assume that for photo ops, if they still want to have some type of requirement, they might put a plexiglass between and arrange the camera so that you don't see it. So just maybe, because that would just be kind of odd getting photo ops and everybody's wearing masks and you can't see them smiling and stuff. I know they've already announced some of the talent that's going to be there, like Giancarlo Esposito is going to be there this year. Drew Sotamo, they got Kevin Thompson, Kerry Jones, and they're I expect it to be like a full lineup because a lot of these people do kind of live in the LA area, so that would be kind of a given. But it'd be interesting to see because some people are hopeful that since they changed the policy on helmets, that maybe they'll be changing some of the other COVID policies by the time we get to uh, by the time celebration actually rolls around. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll have just some slight changes, especially when it comes to the photograph situation. I know that I think they said, like for example, I personally want to take a photo or get an autograph from Hayden Christensen, and I would just love it to be just like a normal photograph experience. But we're lucky for whatever we can get anyway, and I would be so grateful. But I know Ashley Eckstein, who usually would be there, is going to be there. Carl Weathers is also going to be there, and Emily Swallow. So those are some names that I definitely do of some celebrities that I am eager to get a chance to have an autograph with, which I think is fantastic that they are offering that as well. The other thing you did mention were these after parties, and I had a chance to look at some of them, either through websites like the different, like the force.net or something like that, these after parties that are going on in addition to Star Wars Celebration. And you did mention that as well. And they seem to have so many after party events that are going on that I don't know whether everybody's even aware of it, but you did mention it. And I myself was looking at some of them, and it looks like it's a lot of fun to continue the celebration. Even though you probably will be exhausted, you still want to continue this event because it just is so amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
going to two events on the 2 nights before celebration even starts.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of us are going to be, I know I'm going to be in town a little bit earlier than celebration starts. So, I'm looking forward to just enjoying the whole thing. And I do want to mention that across the street is Disneyland. I'm sure a lot of people will go to Disney and hopefully get, to go on to the Star Wars ride there. And kind of experience that. That should be a lot of fun as well. But it truly is. I think it's great that they chose this venue mainly because it is across the street from Disneyland, and I think a lot of people are going to take the advantage to go across the way and see the Star Wars section of the park there as well. It just seems to be so nicely situated this time, Catherine, and somewhat ideal, in my opinion. But I'm so looking forward to this event. And I'd heard about Star Wars Celebration for so many years. Um, Are there other things that are going on outside of what we've spoken about so far that we should be aware of?
The different fan clubs always have meetings and stuff, and they welcome people who aren't in the club. Hey, come on, check us out, see what we're all about, kind of thing. And so that those are always fun. And then you just make friends and you kind of just go and hang out and hey, let's go to a bar or something. So there's that going on. Like for the last couple of years, I got involved with a Star Wars group. That's the official Celebration Anaheim Facebook group, and they have like Zoom meetings every Tuesday just to hang out and chit chat. And they're having two events, one on the Tuesday before Celebration just to hang out, and then on Wednesday they're having a big karaoke night with Star Wars actors showing up, with signing autographs and stuff. So that'll be fun. But you can always try and put feelers out and find what's going on, and I'm sure there's going to be a more comprehensive list of the outside activities as we get closer to Celebration that you could easily find online. Because I certainly don't know what all of them are yet, or how many of them I'll be able to go to or will want to, especially after a whole day on the Celebration floor. You might be kind of tired at that point and be like, do I really want to go even farther? It's like that's one of the reasons I'm not going to do the Disneyland thing, because it's like, man, I'm gonna be there all 4 days. Feet are gonna be really tired and mashed meat. There's a lot of walking at Disneyland. Plus, it's Memorial Day weekend, and that's super busy. And it's like, I don't think I want to do that because I know I haven't been to Star Wars Land yet, but I'll probably wait on that till some other time. But there's always something. But there's always going to be stuff you can find to do while you're there. And then, of course, if you're not even from the area, it's LA, so there's other things you could do the checkout. That'd be fun. A lot of people have been asking in the groups, hey, I've never been out here before, what else should I do while I'm here? It's like, wow, you came to the right place.
Yeah, exactly. I know that one thing I probably want to do is go to the Academy Museum, and I'm sure that there's a lot of Star Wars memorabilia in that museum from the movies. So that's definitely something that I definitely want to see. And the other thing that I was going to say is, in regards to this being the I guess the first celebration since everything that's happened. Um, I think it's fantastic that they are doing this and giving everybody an opportunity to get together. And I got very fearful when they had changed the date, from as I mentioned before. And I said, gee, I hope they don't delay it again, because it feels like this is the right time to have this celebration. At least for me, I feel like the timing is right. And, it's like we're kind of ready now to have a celebration after having to wait for so long, even just to gather. The last con that I went to was in November, the special San Diego Comic Con. And then the con that I went to before that was the New York City Comic Con in October. And those were not as heavily attended as they could have been for a number of reasons. But I am so looking forward to having the experience of a con that is heavily attended, that has a lot of Star Wars fans in it, and we'll have sort of like a lot of experiences that we've been craving to have because we've been waiting so long for this. My final question to you, Catherine, is, have they announced the panels yet? Do we know the details about the panels?
No, we do not. And they've only just started announcing guests as well. So I expect that to start building, because some people are wondering that, it's getting kind of close, because you can buy your autographs and your photo ops in advance, which is kind of what I did, because that helps you. Because they'll have booths there near where all the autographs and photo ops are to buy on site if you want to. But sometimes they can be sold out, as was the case. I was there, Peter Mayhew. I didn't have his. I guess his wasn't posted in advance enough. And I'm like, oh, Peter Mayhew's here. And I went to go buy that, and it was sold out. And I did see him while I was on my way out from a separate photo op. And, that was the last time he was there. He passed us a few weeks later. So, you never know who you're going to get. And some of them, depending on who the actors are, they're not going to be sold out. Like a lot of the actors who played the Imperial officers in all the movies, they all showed up to Chicago. And I don't know if I had like a mini stroke or something, but I didn't think to go over and get their autographs, even though there wasn't like any line for it. Maybe I was paying cash or something at the time and was counting my money, but it's like, man, I should have done that. And if they're there, I'll definitely do it this time. Because, some of these guys are getting up there, and it's like, you better capitalize while you can. So I expect there to be consistent announcements over the next couple of weeks. So that way on the Celebration website, they'll start opening up the pre-orders, so you could make sure you've booked the ones you want. And they'll also provide the schedule for like what days they're signing and for what hours they're signing.
Right.
which is also key because you always want to plan your celebration around like which panels do you really want to attend and which celebrities signing on which days, and is there going to be an overlap, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is good advice. And, I know that some of these panels you do have to queue up for, but are they changing that to like a lottery style, or is it still something that you're going to be on a queue for?
So in Chicago, they had a lottery style because Chicago, the city policy was they were not going to let people camp out front on the streets and all the way down the sidewalk for blocks like they had in Orlando. And so they invented the lottery system where you just enter for the panels you want, and it's a completely random draw. I got lucky and scored 3 panels at Chicago. I got the Galaxy's Edge panel, which I did not attend because that overlapped with the practical effects seminar that they did, where they brought out like actual vintage Star Wars puppets and stuff and demonstrate how the stuff worked. I kind of got to see that. I got the Mandalorian panel, and I did not get the Episode 9 panel, but I also got see what was the other one. So there was Mandalorian, Galaxy's Edge, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but I got another panel, and so the big ones are probably going to have a lottery, and people have mixed feelings about that because some people are like, "Hey, I'm willing to wait in line, I don't mind," and then others are like, so it's kind of a bit, they haven't figured it out yet, and I get it. They don't. It's not really that fun to, you're paying for your hotel, which has got to be hundreds of dollars a night, and that you got to camp out all night long just to get into a panel that's going to last like maybe 40 minutes. It's like, is that really something I want to do? It's like, no, I don't think I would do that. But so we'll see. But the regular panels, yeah, you just sometimes it's not even a line. Like you just walk in and there's plenty of seats. If it's stuff like the concept art or like they had Doug Chang do a panel last year, and you could just walk in and get a seat just about anywhere if you wanted to.
And I'm guessing, and I'm not entirely sure of this. I already know that the layout has been adjusted, to kind of reduce crowding, which I don't think they're going to be that successful at in reduction of crowding. But if this is the case, if they had to change the layout, I'm guessing maybe queuing might be something, and people camping out overnight might be
Well,
something that they're not going to go for.
well, I heard they renovated that the convention center recently and expanded it a bit, like maybe another floor or opened it up a bit more, which might help. Because I know the thing that has the biggest line, which I should advise, is the Celebration store, where you can get official Celebration merchandise that sells out really fast. And so when I go this time on Thursday, the first thing I'm going to do is get in that Celebration store line because sometimes they have really good, great stuff there. The one thing I missed out on for Chicago that I really wanted was the Darth Maul bomber jacket, but that sold out probably on the first day. I still it came out with quite a few stuff when I got there on like the 4th day, but the line for the Celebration store is insane. You could be in that line for hours, and then the line, depending on how early you show up to the convention center, the line to get in for when they open it can be a little long, but that doesn't matter because once they open the door, everybody flows in within like 5 minutes, so that's not a big thing. But yeah, that strong piece of advice. If you want to get special like merchandise that's unique to this, go to the Celebration store first.
Yeah, I appreciate that because that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Plus,
I'm
Thursday is kind of the day that you don't have a lot of the big names there and the big panels. Those are usually on the weekends. And so Thursday, that's the day where you kind of you go to the Celebration store and you tour the exhibit hall floor and you buy all the stuff you want to get and take it back to your hotel or whatever. So that way on Saturday and Sunday, you can enjoy the panels and the celebrities and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I go through with my checklist. Okay, this is the structure that I'm going to use. Hit the store, buy all this stuff, canvas one more time to buy this, and then go to get my autographs and photo ops and panels and that stuff.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm kind of looking at the hours, and Thursday is from 10 to 7. Thursday through Saturday is 10 to 7, and Sunday is from 10 to 5. And I was thinking if there was a day where I could bring my mother, would Thursday be the day because perhaps it would be less crowded. And she might be more comfortable, but I'm still on the fence about that. She may have to just stay in the room if she's more comfortable.
It might be because again, since this one's in LA and so many people in Chicago are from the LA area, it might end up being crowded anyway. I know that because Chicago was unique in that they had 5-day passes available, and the only way you got the 5th day, which is technically the first day, was if you bought the 5-day pass and not the individual ones. And so I was on the Celebration floor on Thursday on their first official day of the convention, and it was not very crowded at all because most people got the weekend tickets. And I was just walking around through the side venues trying to snake my way back to the doors. I was heading out, and I ran into Rob Brito, the head of ILM, and he was selling their book. They did ILM put out a book about the visual effects of the Han Solo movie, and he's like, yeah, you buy the book. He signed autographs and free photo op, and I was like, something that you just randomly ran into while you were there. And another time I was walking through there, and I ran into Julian Glover, who of course was General Veers, and he was Donovan and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's like, oh cool, hi. So you never know who you're going to run into while you're here. And the Thursday is also the day, like I said, where you might see some of those people like that just kind of wandering amongst the having their own booths themselves, but they probably will not be there on Saturday and Sunday in the booths. They'll be over by like photo ops or autographs. But on Thursday, because they usually don't have that, you might find them out in the exhibit hall somewhere. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, that's very good advice to know. I do kind of like attending the entire event. And as I said, if I can get tickets for Saturday and Sunday, I'll pick them up. But I was just glad to get anything. As you know, sometimes it's, for what seemed to be a sold out event initially, you're just lucky to get anything at all. One other thing I did want to mention is that I noticed people were asking about a lightsaber meetup. And that's something else that of course you would have at a Star Wars celebration. I see here Thursday, May 26th outside the convention center at 7:45 p.m. and Friday, May 27th outside the Disneyland gates at 7:45. And so they said that, more details will be released later, but that's even something fun, just being able to kind of show your lightsaber, depending upon the type that you have, just be able to kind of enjoy that.
Oh yeah, that's really cool for photo ops because you have everybody with their light up lightsabers, and it just creates this really neat, almost rainbow type glow. And you have your staged fights, and you have fun, and that's really cool. I remember some Star Wars groups when they go to Galaxy's Edge and they'll meet up there, and they'll do their big photo op at their lightsaber meetup right outside the Millennium Falcon mock-up, which is like so cool, especially to go there at night when it's like, which is usually the best time to go to places like that anyway, because it's not as loud. You get to enjoy the ambiance of it. You're just so much more immersed in it, And so those lightsaber meetups would definitely be fun if you have a lightsaber that lights up.
Absolutely. And, these are the things that are very specific to Star Wars. So, for those of you who have, passions and things that you enjoy with Star Wars, you certainly do want to look at the list of all the events that are happening during this incredible 4-day period at the Anaheim Convention Center. So before we go, Catherine, is there anything else that you want to share or want to say about the upcoming Star Wars celebration taking place at the Anaheim Convention Center in May of 2022?
It's about damn time.
Yeah, I agree.
And as I think about it, it'll not only be the 20th for episode 2, it'll be the 45th for the original film.
Yes, and there is a lot to celebrate this year for so many different reasons. This one is going to be, I feel like this is going to be one for the record books, Catherine. I don't want to miss a minute. I don't want to close my eyes for a minute on this one. So I certainly am incredibly excited to be attending this. And thank you so much for coming to just talk to us a little bit about what to expect from Star Wars Celebration 2022 this year.
Yeah, and I hope to see you there too.
Yeah, you will see me there. It's going to be exciting, Catherine. I can't
Yes, we'll
wait.
to meet up for sure.
Absolutely. And thanks again for joining me for this discussion about Star Wars Celebration, something that we are both so excited for. Everybody watching, thank you so much for watching. Catherine, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SlySnide, at Instagram at SlySnide. You can also find me Wednesday nights at 6 hosting the Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns James Bond show with Scotty R37 on the Phantasmagorium Show channel.
Fantastic. And as always, guys, you can find here on Positive Fandom, as well as on my Twitch channel. On Monday nights, you can find me streaming on Toxic Femmes with Lorena Creel at 8 p.m. During the week, you can find me on the 1/6 Scale Man Network, streaming with Leah Rockwell on Say What or Uncivilized Scoundrels. On Friday afternoons, you can find me with Midnight's Edge with Tom and Andre and Cameron Pasha, and you can find me on the Rrr Network as well. Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for checking into this this video. We are so excited about Star Wars Celebration. Hope you guys can make it. And to all of you out there, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind.